And welcome back, everyone. It's time for another free legal advice segment with Greg Remmenga. Greg, thank you for coming in as always. And what are we talking about today?
Well, I had a person call in and wanted me to explain rights of survivorship and joint tenants and how the property is passed down using a rights of survivorship type document.
Okay.
I think that there was a little bit of confusion in their question because rights of survivorship is where two or more people are on title to a piece of property, and then you are joint tenants, which means everybody owns 100% of the property, but each person only really owns a third. It's called an undivided half or an undivided third of the property.
Okay.
You use joint tenancy as part of an estate plan because if a person dies, the rest of the property, all the property if there's two people, or back to halves if there's three, becomes those people's property without the filing of any other documents. All you need is a death certificate.
Okay. Wow.
So if a husband and wife are joint tenants with the rights of survivorship, if one of them dies, the other one owns 100% and it gets transferred to them immediately.
Okay.
There is no transfer down to the rest of your family or anybody using a rights of survivorship type document.
Okay.
In order to do that, I think the people were talking about intestate succession. That's the use by the government of distributing your property when you don't have a will.
Okay.
If you don't have a will, half of your property gets transferred to your spouse.
Okay.
The other half gets transferred to your kids. If you don't have a spouse, 100% gets transferred to the kids. If you don't have a spouse or kids, it starts going up the chain. It gets transferred to your parents.
Oh, okay.
If you don't have your parents surviving you, it gets transferred to your siblings.
Okay. Wow.
So it comes back down to your level.
Right.
If you don't have siblings surviving or parents, it goes up to the next generation, the grandparents, then goes down to your great aunts and uncles and down through their family.
Okay. Interesting.
So
wow.
it's one of those where it goes down the tree first to your spouse and your kids, then it starts going back up the tree and dividing out to the branches where it can.
Right.
Your siblings, your aunts and uncles, your great aunts and uncles, that type of distribution. But that really doesn't have anything to do with rights of survivorship as far as a joint tenant document. Anybody can have that type of a document, and the other person that's on title immediately gets it upon your death. So those are really two of the different things.
Awesome. Well, I definitely learned a lot of stuff today. Hopefully you did too, and hopefully he helped you out. Greg, thank you again for coming in as always. And any information or that you want to get in touch with Greg is right there on your screen.